Hey, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the RichBuddy live show, Fireside Chat. We're just hanging out this morning, very early in the morning, about 5:30 a.m. Welcome to the program. Hope you're all doing well. We just lit up some hot chocolate and warmed up a cigarette. Ooh, very hot. Very hot on a very cold morning. Good morning. So we're just doing the usual routine here. Make sure you're in 1080p so that you can check out the content in high definition. And yeah, hope you guys are doing okay. I'm going to keep it a little mellow. I lightened up some new stuff here, man. It should knock me out of the sky. Here we go. We're gonna let's start off with something fun. I woke up with something quite interesting. Besides Bitcoin being down 1,000 points, which I was watching that for a good part of the day yesterday. So we can take a look at that. Take a look at that for a minute. We got Bitcoin. Bitcoin took a break from about just over 19,000. Looks like we crossed one of the moving averages and then dropped below quite a bit, actually. We dropped to 17,639. So we're well off the high right now. You know what? I wouldn't say well off the high. I would say we're still there. So in my mind, it hasn't dropped at all. This isn't considered a drop into Bitcoin. So for you guys that are new to Bitcoin, when Bitcoin drops 1,000 points, that's just a normal day. It ain't a big deal. It doesn't spark any panic sales except amongst the newbies. All the new people will get scared and sell, and which is good because it's free money to the system. When someone new comes in, throws in, and you know what? It's usually the people with a little bit of money that panic and sell out and get scared and run. They're usually the ones with weak hands. People with more money have stronger hands. My cousin's a good example. He bought 2 Bitcoin. He saw it run up to 19, 20,000. When it dropped down Thanksgiving, he sold everything and got out. I mean, he made 10%. He was all proud of making 10%. Like, fuck, dude, I make 10% in a day. Are you kidding me? So, if you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen. So I actually, right before I came on air, I put in another $10,000 at this current price. So I'm all in, ladies and gentlemen, and I get myself in deeper. I bought $10,000 worth of Bitcoin at the glorious price of $18,127. That was this morning. So yeah, I got 0.6 of a Bitcoin more than I woke up to this morning. Now we're all in, baby, all in. And then I thought that was interesting. And then we did. So yeah, throw in more money. Don't run. I threw $10,000 in an hour ago, and we bought this 18127. Don't run. What else? Did you guys see the that aliens exist? I mean, we kind of know that already, right? We kind of know that aliens exist already. But did you hear the latest breaking news? The next best thing to the next best thing to them landing and showing themselves and not taking off again, a top government official came out and said, yeah, we're in contact with aliens. Here, I'll play you the little video. And I take him for his word. I mean, absolutely, there's no doubt what he's talking about is he ain't bullshitting. And there's no reason for him to, you know what? Speculating as to whether someone has integrity or not. Your own integrity and character should be questioned. So don't question this man's integrity or character unless you want someone to question your own, because he certainly would have more integrity and character and stature than any one of us here that come on any of these shows ever. So here, let me play a clip.
Aliens exist and President Trump knows about it. That's according to Israel's former space security chief. In an interview with an Israeli newspaper, he said the aliens have been waiting until today for humanity to develop and reach a stage where we will understand in general what space and spaceships are. NBC News chief global correspondent Bill Neely explains.
If there's no sound, let me know.
Hi, Alison. Well, this is quite a story, and it comes from the man who headed Israel's space security program for nearly 30 years. Chaim Eshed is making the extraordinary claim that the United States and Israel have been in contact with a group of aliens for years, not immigrants, but extraterrestrials. He has called them the Galactic Federation of Aliens, and he says President Trump is aware of the existence of these aliens and had been on the verge of revealing their secrets, he claims, but was asked not to do so by the Federation in order to prevent what he calls mass hysteria. Well, the retired general says the US and Israel have kept it from the public because, quotes, humanity isn't ready and the aliens don't want to reveal themselves until humanity can evolve, he says, and understand what space really is. Well, the good news is that he claims an agreement has been reached between the US government and the aliens, a contract to do experiments here. There's also, he says, a secret underground base on Mars where there are American and alien representatives.
That's interesting.
Now, this former head of a branch of Israel's defense ministry is 87. He was very well respected, at least until now. And he said all this in an interview with an Israeli newspaper in Hebrew, but it's really taken off after parts of it were published in English by the Jerusalem Post today. He says he's come forward now in the hope that his news will be accepted as true. He notes that if he'd made these claims 5 years ago, he would have been hospitalized, but now he says, I've got nothing to lose. Well, so far, President Trump has not tweeted about this, though remember a year ago, he did set up the Space Force as the fifth branch of the US Armed Forces. Well, we did ask the White House, the Department of Defense, and Israeli officials to comment. So far, they have not responded to the NBC News request. And I wonder if they ever will. Alison.
President-elect Joe Biden
sorry, let me figure out how to stop that. Stop. So I thought that was fascinating. And me personally, I take it word for word, 100%. The part of it that blew me away was the whole Mars base thing, which I 100% on board with the dude. He said it, I buy it. You know, they have a fascination with Mars. And Elon Musk knows we can go there. So his mission has been to try to get us there. He knows we've been there. So, you know, that whole, you know, they throw shit out there like, well, first of all, we went to the moon, right? And everybody knows we went to the moon, you know, right? Several times. The thing is that, you know, the whole thing with Apollo 13, that's the one with the Snoopy, on the Snoopy watch. Is it Apollo 11 or 13? I think it's 13 was the one that Tom Hanks was on, right? Apollo 13. So we've been there to the moon. And then they come out and say there's a Van Allen belt, the Van Allen radiation belt. It's impossible to have been anywhere because of the belt, and it's all bullshit. That's all stuff to close your mind so you forget about space and you don't believe you can go there and yada, yada, yada. But, you know, there ain't nothing we can't do. And military craft has spotted, documented, and shown us videos of unidentified flying objects. So it is what it is. What I wanted to ask you guys is, what kind of watches do you think they wear? You think they're wearing Rolex? Meteorite dials? If you were an alien, what kind of watch would you wear? Daytona? You know which one? FP Journe Centigraph. Yeah, that's the one, baby. The FP Journe Centigraph. Because that thing can time rocket ships. Bam, that's the winner right there. FP Journe Centigraph. Right? All right, let's go to European Watch Co. What I'm doing with Bitcoin is I'm buying. I'll just tell you my little strategy, what I'm doing right now, if you're interested. Anybody interested? So you guys know I bought 1.5. Oh shit. Ouch. That's loud. Hold on. Christ. You guys know I sold 2.66 Bitcoin at 19,000, whatever the fuck it was, 19,000 something, 19,003. Where is it? It's right here. 19,460. So I sold 2.6 at 19,460. I bought one back. I bought half of it back at around 16 and a half. I bought half of it back. I bought some of it back at 16 and a half. I bought some of it back at 17 and a half. And then I bought the last lot I bought, which was the highest, I bought at 19,326, which I bought like 1.5 coin, I think. 30 grand at 19,363. So 1,000 points higher than where we at now. And then I bought this morning, I bought like 0.6, 10 grand worth at 18,127. All right, boys. So what I'm going to do is like the 10 grand I bought this morning at 18,127. When we get back up to 19,363, I'm going to sell the amount that I just bought. That's going to replace what I bought at 19,363. You feel me? So I bought 10 grand worth, and then I bought some yesterday too. I think I bought a few thousand yesterday. Anyway, whatever the amount is that I buy. So if we go down again to 16, if we go back down, touch 17 when I was asleep right now, we go back to touch 7, I'll buy more. And then as we go up and we go back to my old purchase price of 19,326, I'll sell that amount. So basically I'm replacing my purchase price so that I'm no longer paying 19,326 for that lot. I'm paying 18,127, and then I'll replace that lot later because I know we're going to go back up to it, and I'll just replace that later, and then I've reduced my cost basis. Does that make sense? Replacing shares. That's not something you can really do with stocks because you can't be sure that you're going to stay in that stock forever for it to wait to come back up. Whereas in Bitcoin, 100% for sure it's going to be back to where it was at. So you can play that for certain strategy. And if you have that variable locked in the formula, then it gives you some opportunity play. Does that make sense? So, I don't want to put more money in Bitcoin, but I'm going to buy some cheaper since it went down. And then I'm going to sell the more expensive coin later. Therefore, overall, reducing my cost basis, basically putting more money back in the bank and leaving myself with the same amount of coin. All right, then. I think it's looking good. 18,003. Getting back to, so we covered the illegal aliens. We covered Bitcoin. The third topic is watches. All right. Let's look at the new arrivals, because that's what I always do. We haven't seen a Rolex Explorer in quite a while being offered here. 8,950. 8,950. This I do not like at all. This Yacht Master, I don't like that style. What do you guys think? Everything's just wrong about that Yacht Master. Well, if it had, imagine if that Yachty had a blue bezel with everything else the same. Look, it's got blue sapphire. You see that? It's blue surty. Blue sapphires. Imagine if that was a blue bezel. That would. But it's gold. It just doesn't look good. We talked about these Pepsis. I've always lusted after them. I never pulled the trigger on them. We talked about them as much as we talked about the Daytonas. And we talked about how they were a sweet spot to pick up. That was 2 years now has passed. We've talked about this for 1 to 2 years religiously. We talked about these vintage Pepsis and, the Daytonas, like the one I had and sold, were all sweet spots. The two-tone Daytona especially the Zenith. We talked about that being a sweet spot, and this. And here you go. These are up considerably from when we had the opportunity to buy those at 11 and a half. 11 and a half. So 2 years gone by and they're up $5,000. Damn 50%, right? So in my opinion, you know, if I'm talking to myself, I'm going to say, RichBuddy, you know, you ain't ever looking at these. You looked at them, you considered them, you passed on them. Too late to look at them now, buddy. Forget about it. Ain't ever going to touch one of these for 16 grand. You know, and I willfully passed them up. Hand over fist and just passed them up. I passed these because they don't appeal to me. You know, I don't know why people hate on the Air King. When you look at the Air King versus the Explorer, I mean, what's the difference? It's the same watch. You see, 369 isn't not the font the same as well. 369, even the font's the same. The case, the bezel. Look at the watch. Even the 12 o'clock marker is identical. The minute plots are the same. The only difference is they've put the minute numerals 5, 10, 20 through 55. That's the only difference. There is no other difference. And if you ask me, all the color splash they put makes the watch a nicer watch than the Explorer. Why would you not want that color splash? Though I think the only thing people don't like is the minute. The minutes laid out in numerals there. But you have to remember it's the Air King. So I'm not a pilot, but I'm assuming that having the minutes written out like that is going to help a pilot to quickly go to his watch and take a time reading, because it would be a lot harder to do that on this one. Whereas this one, maybe it just jives with the pilot and what he needs to do. Anybody a pilot out there and can corroborate that or not? With having the 5, 10, 20 through 55 here on the track written out, does that help you as a pilot? Would that make it easier to reference your watch than it would be this OP Explorer? Because I'm all for the Air King all day long as far as looks go. And it's $7,750, so it's cheaper, and they discontinued it. So you want to ask me what's a sweet spot right here on this map today? You're looking at it. The Air King at $7,750 is probably the most money you're going to get for your money in a watch today, because you're always going to get the most for your money in a Rolex. That's number one. And this is going to be the least expensive Rolex, unless you can, securing an OP41 at an AD for $5,900 probably isn't that difficult. It looks like I've got one coming. I can imagine it's not going to be as difficult as securing any sports steel Rolex, right? So if you're not, so as far as value play in Rolex, Number one's going to be that OP 41. Look, I know Daytona's all that. Of course, those would be value plays as well. But we're talking about more realistic value plays, probably for the average punter and even price-wise. That OP 41, right? Forget Daytona. It costs a lot of money and all of that. What we're talking about is value for money. The OP 41 really gets you your value for your money, don't it? Even if it did even if it wasn't worth more in the secondary market, it does provide you good value for your money, don't it? At 5,900 MSRP. Now, what I'm saying is, what else does that? What else does that? What else is a sweet spot in the Rolex range right now? You know, I'm seeing this. I don't see any problems with this Air King, and it's been discontinued, which is great, which is going to be good for that watch. People later are going to be like, I can't believe that nobody liked that Air King and they missed it. You know, it's the only one with Rolex green letters, and it's the only one with a green minute hand, and it's the only one with that yellow crown. It's the only one, so many things, you know. And then they're going to say, instead of saying bad things about the minute track, they're going to find positive things to say about it, you know. Describe it for pilots' use and things like that. I just see it eventually turning around in the market. People will get desperate enough if this drought goes on anyway. Crimbo shopping. What's that? It's quirky. Because of the minute track. I mean, when you look at the watch, it sure is. It's just naturally easier to tell the time when you look at the Air King, because the minutes is spelled out for you. It's just kind of more natural. It's just automatically easier to tell the time. So I can see why, for a pilot, ease of use is great for that watch, right? And this is Arch's world time, isn't it? 28,009. Did these come down? I think these used to be about 32, didn't they? Weren't they? .37 millimeter world time. Certain watches, like this one, the yellow gold, makes it look like a dated watch, very, very dated. So I prefer white gold on a watch like that, for sure. Oh. I wonder what's going to happen with that Israeli guy coming out saying that the U.S. has been working with aliens. I hope Trump comes out and provides some additional truth to that. That'd be fun. It'd be fun. I mean, you know, there ain't really much to want to get out of it other than, I mean, sure, I wonder what's going on, but it'd be fun if they came out and just said it. It'd be kind of fun. Be to talk for a little while, get our minds off the pandemic. Maybe we need something like that to give us hope. Maybe they can help us with the virus. Maybe that's how the virus is getting fast tracked, because there's aliens helping us figure it out. I'll tell you what would interest me from a business aspect is who's making money on the insider trading on the technology side. I think the SEC needs to investigate this whole alien thing. Don't you think? Look, if there's any truth to that at all, there's a hell of a lot of people up top making hundreds of millions of dollars on financial market arbitrage by the knowledge that they have. Seriously, that's not a joke. Knowledge is money. The sheer fact that if you or I knew for sure that aliens existed, we'd be making more money right now. Don't ask me how, but if we knew for 100% for sure, like you fucking knew it, like you seen it, you'd be making money on it. We'd be making money. There's something we'd be making money on. You'd be getting something out of it. Trust me. So, you know, that's something worthwhile for the SEC, you know, to set up Men in Black to go trace the financial transactions. Hey, you know what? Financial transactions don't lie. If you do a financial audit, maybe it'll lead to money pointing at aliens. You know, where did this money go? Where did this money go? Well, it was funding this project. What was that project? What in the world would this have to do with what? Okay. So, I mean, you know, definitely from a money aspect, it would be a huge thing to want to look into. Anybody would have to agree. Okay. Boy, that genuinely looks like a bathroom scale for $28,500. This looks like a combination of that Star watch they used to have, limited edition. I think it was called the Star watch, where it had these clear panels with the numbers on them. I seen it once. I considered purchasing it, and I did not. And I'm sure it's gone up in price because I was thinking it was going to be a collectible piece. I forgot what it's called, but I want to say it was called the Star Watch by AP. Very similar to this. Oh, it is called the Star Watch. Maybe this is it. Star Wheel Automatic. But maybe they had a different version of this because I don't remember this being on the top. But maybe this is it. Does this say limited edition? I'm not so sure exactly. I think they've made more than one of these versions of the Star Wheel watch. It was a different one that I had looked at. It's got a Jaeger LeCoultre movement in it. The AP Star Wheel Automatic was introduced in 1990 and was produced for 9 years. And it's based on the 17th century wandering hours dial. This epic cycloidal system was debuted by the Campani brothers at Rome, who used it in their nocturnal clocks during the second half of the 1600s. This was the watch that I was going to buy. I almost bought this watch one day. I don't remember what the price was I was going to pay for it. Because it was quirky, it was AP. Yeah, very weird, like totally reminiscent of an old-time watch of how something would be done. 28,500. Gotta tell you, I don't remember how much it was when I was looking at it. Right there. That's the perfect watch for an alien or an astronaut right there. The Centigraph by Jorn. You can time a rocket ship with this thing. You can tack a rocket ship. Look at that. You can tack a rocket ship with that. He's a forward thinker. Wow. Dynamite. Just dynamite. That's a mean machine. Look at that case. Then you walk into a place with that watch on. You ain't playing games. You is not playing games, fella. Look at that. Good God, that's amazing. Man, does it get any better than that? I love the placement of everything. FP Jorn here at 8 o'clock. The Art of Invention here at 4 o'clock. The reference name of the watch here at 12. It's just so perfect what they thought of putting everywhere. The as much information and as much information is on these subdials with as many places before the decimal there are. I mean, look at this is 5 places before the decimal. they've got 5 places written out before the decimal here. Wow. I mean, and it's legible with all of that detailed information. I mean, look at this. They've even got down here to the 10th. Look at that. 7.8, 7.2, 6.7. Look at that. They've got these things marked out. And yet it's more legible than a Daytona. And a Daytona doesn't even have numbers. Just what an amazing piece of craft right there. That's worth whatever they're asking for it, man. What a leather strap, too. And look, isn't that interesting that the stitching is at an angle? You see that the stitching is angled? It's not straight. That's kind of interesting. I think that's worth noting. And even taking a picture of for a future strap idea, just to be able to show Aaron and say, hey, look, isn't that different? Right? It's notable. Man, I'd want that on a deployant. I would not want to drop that watch. You know, it's an automatic. You know, last night I was thinking, and I just had an overwhelming sense of I just had like a gut feeling that the economy and everything is going to turn out to be really, really bad. And I'm not going to lie, it made me think about, for a little while, I was thinking about whether I should be forking out the dough on a Journe in times like this, because I don't know if is all of this really happening, or I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. You know, economy, stocks, Bitcoin, like everything's going up. It just doesn't make sense. Everything looks so bad. So I'm just worried a little bit about the disconnect. So I just been, I don't know, man. I'm kind of jumping in. But I just want to throw it out there and just, you know, remind you guys, be a little careful. 'Cause it's, I think there's a big disconnect between looking at these watches and what's really going on out there. But then when you say that, what is really going on out there? Stocks are going up, Bitcoin's going up. I mean, the stocks, really, that's the big thing. And that's the biggest way I get by right now is with all my investments. So it's just kind of crazy. Man, I could stare at this all day. That's just Beautiful. I mean, what's more beautiful, the back side of this watch or the front side of this watch? Man. That's interesting. I don't know if I've seen that before on his watch here. I've never paid attention or noticed, but it says 18 karat gold movement right here in the center axis. I don't think he does that on all the watches. He's actually got centograph written on the rotor and everything. Maybe this has its own. This must have its own amazing movement, of course. So it's autographed. Whoa. Wow. I don't know. So I remember somebody saying that the finishing on Jorn isn't all that great. I disagree. There it is. Look at those beautiful beveled edges. Nice. And of course, they don't list the price on that one. You know, one thing I've noticed is that the amount of turnover has decreased dramatically. We used to come on here every couple of days, every few days, and there'd be like a whole bunch of new watches, and the ones we were looking at would be gone. But I'm noticing that a lot of these watches the inventory doesn't turn around as often. Hey, you know what I saw here that was kind of a little surprising? Look at this Patek at the price. $12,500. I thought that was pretty sweet. I mean, 30 by 43. Is that not very similar to a Reverso? A Grand Reverso? Anybody know if that's very similar to a Grand Reverso? 30 by 43 millimeter? So, you know, it's gold. So if you were going to get it, if you were thinking about a gold Reverso for about what? What's a gold Reverso go for? 10? I'd spend a couple of thousand more and get this gondolo. I like this watch. I think it's cool. Gold coffin case. I like these. They're very dressy. You know, I almost bought something like this with a blue dial. I don't, either it was a white gold or a platinum case, and I just said, man, I put it on, at Paddock, and I said, I'm never going to wear this watch. It's just way too dressy. And I don't ever get that dressed up. So gondolas are pretty dressy watches. Maybe you could get away with wearing this one more dressed down, but man, honestly, gondolas, when you have them in your hand, they're pretty formal looking. I love them though. They stand out. Just please don't buy something like this. Don't do it. This would be a great, I think this would be a great ladies' watch. This moon phase with the hobnail bezel. But it might be too small. Women like large watches today. 40 plus. Vacheron World Times, I don't care for them. You know why? There's this that shade disc. You see where the earth is half dark? That's literally a, you know what? I don't want to say plastic in case it's sapphire, but I think it's a plastic piece that's floating over half that globe, and it's tinted, and it's letting you know that's the 24-hour dark, and it rotates. And I didn't think it was I thought it was ugly, that plastic that floats around. Have any of you guys ever seen one of these up close in person, held it on your hand, and know what I'm talking about? This here is a plastic disc here that divides the globe in two. And let's see if there's a closer shot of the disc. Yeah, they don't show it. It's hard to see. You can't see it. So that's how you know it's AM PM, by seeing whether it's dark or not on the side of the globe. Yeah. And nothing rotates. So you have to look and read the time upside down. Okay, you see that? So if you want to know what time it is in Tokyo right now, you're going to be an expert at reading upside down, aren't you? You see that? So in Tokyo, it's 11:10. Okay? So in Tokyo right now, it's 11:10. And it's 11:10 in the evening. No, it's 11:10 in the day, because you can see it's on the daylight side. So that's how you'd read that watch, you know? And London, 3 a.m., 2:30 a.m., 2:10 a.m., and it's on the dark side. So that's the difference between this one and, let's say, the Paddock. The Paddock, you don't have to read upside down, because the Paddock has a pusher and you adjust the pusher to bring up in the forefront in front of you vertically the region you want to see the time so you can correctly read it. That's the difference with the Patek. So Patek over Vacheron on the world time. You just pick a blue reverso. Would I still get a King Midas? You know, if I had a bunch of F-off money, I would. But not right now. What about you, Geezer? What are you looking at? What are you looking at? What does a man look at after he has a chronometra blue? That's a better question. A better way to word the question. Okay, I'm starting to fade. It's 6:20. I can see the sun coming up. Am I going to try to go back to sleep or not? Man, I woke up in hella pain. What's interesting is that my hip hurt yesterday, but it didn't hurt for several days prior. I was telling my wife that. I said, you notice I haven't complained about my hip for several days, but my back's been brutally murder. Yeah. I've got to drop 15 pounds, man. I got to drop 10, 15 pounds, man. $13,000 for the old style sub 2020 papers. They want $12,900. I mean, that's about $3,000 more than you'd pay out the door. Well, maybe that's not true. Maybe about $2,700 more than one would pay out the door with tax and all. You know, I think for the prices, even with the premiums, Rolex is still worth it. There's no doubt the prices of Rolex on the dealer shelf is underpriced, and the dealer has no control over raising that price. Otherwise, he would if he could. There's no doubt they're a bargain. When you look at old ass Patek gondolas like this going for $13,000, and you look at, the price of certain watches, Vacherons are $25,000 plus, APs are $20,000 plus. I'm talking not premium prices. I'm just talking on the shelf. When you compare Rolex to other watch brands at their level, I mean, man, Rolex is the least expensive. Look, I'm going to just tell you the truth. Why do I have 7 Rolex? Because I never made enough money to buy 7 Pateks. Well, fuck, that's the truth. If I made more money, I'd have 7 Pateks or Pateks and APs and Vacherons and Jorns. I mean, right? But why do I and most other, middle class, quote unquote, middle class, blue collar people, why do we have so many Rolex in our collection? Because that's what we can afford. 8,000 a pop, 9,000 a pop, 10,000 a pop. At the time you're spending 9-10 grand at a time, that's a big purchase. It's for someone who's buying Rolex after Rolex, spending 20 grand or 25 on a watch, let alone 30, 35, 40. Man, that's a tough pill to swallow, dude. That's a tough pill to swallow. Go tell Joe Plumber, who's got, a Datejust and a Submariner, right, that he's had for 6 years. Go tell Joe Plumber that he should be buying APs for $25,000, and he's going to be like, "Sorry, Charlie, man. We're hanging out in 2 different groups. He ain't going to spend $25,000 on an AP." It's Rolex is really attractive to us guys who, doing okay, but it's more affordable, man. It's a sweet spot in luxury watches. So, yeah. That's a nice looking watch right here. Look at that yellow in the bezel. Too bad it's not on its bracelet. 16.5 without a bracelet. Too much money. 1989 L series. Man, I like that. Too bad no bracelet though. If I was going to buy a watch like this, I'd at least want to have a gold watch similar to it, to where the bracelet would fit on this watch. Another Rolex bracelet would fit on this watch. Kind of like how I'm doing right now with my vintage watches, my Universal Genève and my 1016 Rolex. I'm going to be able to swatch straps between them. That's going to be fun. And I'm doing that. I'm doing strap swaps with my sub dates, so that's fun. We've talked about this Onyx dial $250,000 watch before. It's $190,000. Somebody bought it and then gave it back to them. We know that because we've seen it sold, and then it went back to them, and now it's back up here. So we're assuming the person changed their mind. And I was saying what was interesting is when I was watching Tim Mosso on Watchbox around that time that this thing said it was sold, someone in the chat box there at Watchbox said, typed in and said, I just bought the Yoshida. And they didn't boast or say too much more than that about it. Tim didn't pick it up, Nobody else said anything. Nobody really probably knew what it was except me, because I've been talking about it. It's a 70-piece limited edition. So I'm the only one that picked up that this guy bought a $200,000 watch. But for some reason, that person must have not wanted to put that much money in it after they got it and looked at it or something. And I just was wondering, I'm bringing it up because I'm wondering what kind of a restocking fee. So let's say you buy this watch for $189,000 from them, and you have it for a week or two. Hopefully you didn't put any wear on the bracelet, right? I mean, you know, hopefully a watch like this, if you buy it and if you're going to even contemplate returning it, hopefully you at least didn't wear it and just, you know, looked at it so that you didn't scuff it up or nothing and affect your return value. Man, that thing is beautiful. I mean, if he really had the money to spend on this and liked it, I don't know why he would have returned it. You know what I mean? The brushing on that steel is just sick. You know what? To hell with it, man. The sun's up. Hold on, I'm going to meet you guys. I'm going to open up the garage door here, get some fresh air and sunlight in here on me. Wow, there we go. Serious twilight. Oh yeah. Red-orange sky. And very dark. Very nice. Man, I'm not sure if any watch is worth $189,000, to be quite honest with you. I'm not one to see that much potential in any watch, but I can appreciate it. Oh, I think the bracelet is different, quite different than a normal AP bracelet. That's custom. That looks very different, doesn't it? Wow, I like it. You know what it reminds me of? It looks like a tractor tread, like a tank tread. A tank tread, doesn't it? Tractor tread. Wow, what a shot. That's hot. So the newer movements are larger. They fit the cases better in the new watches, just like this. So it's very aesthetically pleasing to the eye. Unlike some of those Pateks I complain about, where the movement just looks too damn small for the case. And I always complain and I say, why don't they just close the back? I'd rather not see the backside. It doesn't look that great anyway on some of those Pateks, I'm gonna be honest. Nothing like this. AP does a better job on their open case backs in a lot of instances, like this one here. that looks interesting. Hold on. Wow, a lot of good pictures. That's great. Well, that's a really great picture, and I look at the back of an AP to see what you're looking at there. I think this is exactly what I would see in my 15500. Okay. So this is exactly what should be in the back of the Royal Oak, the new Royal Oak right here. And what size watch is this? Is this a 41? Oh, it's a 39. Oh, wait, no, this isn't the same caliber movement. This is the 21 ultra thin. So this is a different movement. This is probably what's in Bud's watch. The 15202 is probably has this motor. Let's see if they have any what APs they got here. Oh, dang, they don't have any Royal Oaks. They don't have any basic Royal Oaks to look at. Is this a leap year watch? But doesn't have an indicator? Yeah, it's a perpetual calendar. This is a perpetual, one of those rare perpetual calendars that doesn't indicate anywhere on the dial the leap year. It just does it. Is that I don't know if that's the case. It's got to say somewhere. How would you set it? Maybe it's not a leap year. Maybe I'm misreading how they are using the word perpetual calendar here. you know, like Oyster Perpetual watch. You know what I mean? So maybe it's just a regular annual calendar watch. That's what it looks like to me. Well, that's an old guy. That's an old guy. All right, Bitcoin's going up a little bit. It looks like people are going to wake up this morning and maybe pick it up. And is it 6:30 yet? Oh, good. The stock market opened. All right. Wow, man, my ExxonMobil's making big moves. That's great. I just bought ExxonMobil, and it's already gone up a couple of bucks, and it's paying a dividend like tomorrow or something. Freaking 8.5% dividend. I can't believe Tesla is $650. That just blows me away. Incoming watches. Here comes a Patek. One of my Grail watches, a 5712. This chocolate Daytona. You know, that's probably a good looking watch in person. I think I've seen it in person before. It's definitely different. This is going to have the non-adjustable Oyster Flex. If you guys remember, Bud was telling us that the 2020 Oyster Flex straps have adjustable easy links in them. I love this watch here. If I could get this one at MSRP, you know, I would never sell it. It would be the last watch in the collection I'd ever sell. I think that's one of my most favorite watches that exists. You guys like this one? Do you think this one is worth the premium? This one's selling for double. So, I mean, this is a $30,000 watch and it's selling for $65,000. It's crazy to think that this is only about $30,000 retail. It seems like a lot of watch for the money when it has all these complications on it, and it's a Nautilus, and it's all steel. and it was only about 30,000 bucks. Oh man, you know, when you have a really bad back, you can feel it all the way down to your knees. All the way down to the knees, fuckers. That's a great looking watch. You know, and here's the same version, but it's on a strap. And it's pretty hot too, gotta be honest. I'm really more hot for the blue one, but boy, beggars can't be choosers. I wouldn't complain too much. But, you know, spending the money, you got to get the one you want. I'm not so much a fan of all that brown, rose tone-y colors. Even the Havana I'm getting this kind of a color in the Havana, but it's really being offset with the platinum case. I can't handle too much overtone. Brown over rose, over red, over gold, over brown. It's a little too much for me. Oh, that's a great Lange right there. Oh man, that's a good one. Oh, look at that. That's a great looking watch. Oh, wow. Holy smokes, that's a beaut. Oh my God, that's incredible. Watch of the day right there. Wow, look at that. Oh, get out of here. Oh man. Oh man. No. No. Oh man, seeing something like this makes me second guess my Havana. Oh man, this watch is crazy. Whoa. German car, German watch. Oh man. This is going to be much cheaper than a datograph too, isn't it? Look at that shit. How much do you think this one's going to go for? Oh my God. Oh my God. That's just beyond incredible. Bro, this is going to be much, much, much cheaper than what I'm paying for my FP Journe. Oh my God, that's just incredible. Maybe it's time I move a couple of pieces and get into this. And still get my Journe, but honestly, make a move in my watch collection, you know? FP Journe, Havana, one of these, exactly this piece, like this piece right here. Man. Oh my God. Wow, this picture sells the watch. Wow. How much do you guys think this is? 35,000. Wow. Truly amazing. Like, I'm not gonna lie, this seeing these photos right here are making me think. I mean, I've been there. I've held a datagraph in my hand. I've looked at it. You forget, though. You know, you forget. Oh, man. They're going to put us deeper in. These were better than the datagraph. I mean, how so? The datagraph was great. I remember wearing that. My son telling me that's the only watch I ever needed. Man, I agreed with him too. Yeah, I agreed with him too. I'm not sure what I'm doing not buying a datagraph, to be honest, gentlemen. A platinum datagraph. I'm not sure why I'm not buying one of those. You know what? It's okay. There's got to be something. You have to always strive for excellence. And it isn't like I'm buying junk. I'm getting in the FP Jorn family. And what I can do is start making serious considerations in whether I want to consolidate to get into something like this. Let me ask you guys something. My Submariner, my original first Rolex, you think I'll regret that if I get rid of it? I could put that 10,000 towards something like this. I'd have to move 3 watches into this piece. Wow, that looks great. Why do they make it look black? They use some kind of photo trick to make it black here. Why'd they do that? Wow. Okay, I'm sorry. We're just gonna chill out and appreciate this. We're gonna appreciate the Lenge family for a minute because it's very underappreciated. We're gonna just appreciate this for a moment while I roll a cigarette on this brisk morning day. And I'm going to try to figure out, we're all going to try to figure out, here's what you're supposed to do right now. Right now, you're going to try to figure out how in the world one day are you going to get this watch? If you don't already have it, some of you might already have it. But if you don't have this watch right now, you're going to try to figure out how in the world do you get this thing? All right, let's contemplate. Canadian snow geese incoming. You can hear them getting louder and louder. That's a lot of geese. Man, it's hard to think about that because I really love all my watches. I can't think of anything I would sell other than the original Speedmaster that I don't need. And I guess my first Rolex, but that'd be kind of hard pill to swallow selling that. And then I'd probably have to think of something else. A third watch, even on top of that. You don't think it's that special? It's a nice watch. I mean, as far as the dial goes, it's not all that special, sure. But the wow, it sure is beautiful though. They really do a great job on the back of that watch. And on everything else too. Wow, look at the Lange, how it's like powder coated in the middle. Or whatever. Wow, that looks amazing. That's cool. Wow, they really stepped it up. Congratulations for hiring a great photographer. What a great photographer they got here, this guy. Except, is the dial blue or black? I think someone needs to tell him not to mess with the colorings. There's no way that's not a blue dial. It's a blue dial, isn't it? Or is it a black dial? I can't tell. I'm sure it'll say. Oh, I'm curious now to check and see what it says. Oh, man. Okay, let's light this up, man. My back is killing me. I'm so tired of fucking complaining. Let's see what it says here. Black dial. Oh, shit. This thing is tough. It's a black dial. Man, I shit you not. If I did not have that Havana on order, I'd be calling her right now and buying this watch. Without a doubt in my mind. Interesting, it's white gold too. Not platinum. Pulsation dial too. I'd rather have a pulsation dial. That's more usable for me than a tachometer. I'm not going to be going racing around, man, but my heart will be racing. Right? That's a tough dress watch. Very tough dress watch. $2018. You know? So it's about 3 years old, man. That's probably as old as you want it, and you're going to get a little bit of a good deal on it for it being not brand new. I think this is a great one here. I wonder what it's going to be priced at. Trading my sub and Speedmaster for this Lang plus cash. Fuck. How much you reckon they'd give me for my Speedmaster, though, man? I don't want to take a loss on it. That's something I should at least get my money back for, but you know they're not going to give me my money back for it. Back the truck up, geezer. I've got an AP coming anytime, geezer. Back the truck up. I need to, if I do that, I need to keep the money just for my AP, man. Back the truck up. Let's save some room for later. I better get off this watch before I buy it. I was about to send her an email and tell her to hold it for me. Forget it. Forget about it. Okay, I think I'm done once I finish hitting this cigarette. I think I got to jump on the inversion table here. There's an Omega coming in. 1967 dot over 90. Oh, let's see what they sell this one for, geezer. This is a 321, but man, mine's a year right behind it, and mine's special. It shouldn't be any, honestly, it shouldn't be any less money than this one. So let's see what they sell this. And it's got a 1016 bracelet. Very good. So let's see what they price this one at, guys. I got the same end links and bracelet. Let's see what they price this at. That's a nice looking 321. I need to sell my Omega private party if I sell it. And you know, there hasn't been a need to be in a hurry because it's only going to get harder to find. Man, thousands of geese this morning. It's only going to get harder and harder to find, harder for someone to procure. So it isn't like I have to run a hustle to get rid of it right now. I just recently set up my insured account. So I have an account with insurance now through Parcel Pro. And so now I can ship watches UPS insured. So now that that's set up, I might want to, I want to start. Yeah, there's a couple of watches I want to get rid of, like that Speedmaster, maybe a Doxa. I'm definitely keeping the Universal Genève now. You see, you know, when you're thinking about selling something, you really need to take about a year's time to think about it, because that Universal Genève, I'm really glad I didn't sell it. As a matter of fact, I'm going to be making a custom strap for it, you know, sometime next year. I'll have Aaron make a custom strap for it. When I'm ready to make 2 more straps, it's going to be one for the Universal Genève and one for something else. You know, they've had this 5513 here for a long time. That Carl Bouchier is really nice right here, but you can't tell the time with the hands being the same color as a damn dial. Am I blind, or it must be the lighting, because that's gold hands. That's a nice looking watch. Well, that guy's lost. He's all by himself, trying to catch up with the group. These are not cheap. These are expensive watches. I'm not familiar with the brand, though. Nice. A nice 3.5% gainer for ExxonMobil today. Beautiful, man. Oh, wait a minute. This is that watch we were looking at when I was looking at it online with Bud. And we said this is the most beautiful freaking watch, amazing watch that's out there right now. And he made a few phone calls to try to find this to get this. I got to text him. Hold on. You know who's going to buy this right now? Our friend Bud the Stud is going to be the watch fucking pontiff. I'm going to declare him the watch pontiff, dude. He'll be the new watch pontiff, dude. He'll be... I don't know if I should even text him, though. This watch is going to be too expensive. And he'll go crazy and he'll buy it. Shit. Should I tell him about it? He's probably watching. Oh my God, look at this thing. He made a few phone calls. He couldn't find it. There it is. How much is this going to go for? Shit, still got stickers on it. It looks like it's been worn, though. It's got some scuffs. It's been worn. Lightly. Wow, looks good. Okay. Let's tell him. Let's tell him. Okay, let's find his... Where's he at? European watch company has the 5740. You might want to call Ivana and ask her to hold it for you. If you want to think about it. I don't remember what the price was on this thing, but this thing is pretty sick. I think this is as top tier as you can get right here, boys. It's absolutely incredibly beautiful, too. I mean, it's stunning. This is definitely better than the 5712. And I don't know. I don't think it gets any much better than this. For me, this would be it. A perpetual calendar Nautilus, blue dial, in white gold. Wow. Quite honestly, that'd be worth considering trading your entire watch collection in for this piece. This is one of those where I could see myself just calling her up and saying, you know what? I've got a Hulk, a Batman, a President, a Daytona. I'm ready to give it all away. And then you'll probably need to give me a check back for because I'll probably need to be owed some money even still, because I think I got more watches enough to cover this. I might be able to walk out with a Daytona, keeping a Daytona. Wow. You think it's $200,000? I wouldn't be able to even afford it if it was that much money. It would have to be about $130,000. I traded my whole collection for it. Because that's probably what my collection's worth about. We'll see if Bud's interested in it. I text Bud the info on the watch. That's just amazing, though, isn't it? Truly amazing. Good one, man. Good one. Man, they had some good incoming watches. Really good incoming watches to look at. That was good. That was good. Some really good. That one was just amazing to see. The 5712 is just as beautiful. You can see how these pieces are just amazingly beautiful. The last Nautilus we looked at it, and then this 5712 is just as stunning. Amazing. They had some really good watches to look at. The blue on that, you can just see how it pops when you're scrolling by it. Look at that blue, how it just pops. You know, my Rolex AD called me and offered me 15% off any Cellini. We have a whole bunch of Cellinis that just came in, all variations and sizes, and why don't you come get one for 15% off? I'm like, no, man, that's cool. I'll be waiting for my yellow dial OP in January. I like these. I always love these vintage top timers. These are great. Great looking vintage watch. Super fun. All right, that's about all I can take, gents. All right, nice chatting with you guys about watches. Ooh, look at that green yucky stuff right there. All right. Be well. Have a wonderful Wednesday. I think today's Wednesday. I'm not wearing my president, so I don't know what today is. All right. Peace out.